Another aspect is a person could be going through a divorce, a breakup, or a terrible relationship. How do I bounce back to my full potential? How do I bounce back to my full potential? Progress or stagnation is the result of how we process events in our life. Progress or stagnation is how we process events in our life. I always suggest divorce is always a final choice after all possibilities have been explored well. Divorce is always a final choice after all possibilities are explored well. When we describe a relationship, most of us say it's good, it's bad, or it's great, or it's ugly. All these, in my opinion, are meaningless. There are only two types of relationships. There's only two types of relationships: mature relationships and immature relationships. That's all. There's only mature and immature relationship. The first sign of a mature relationship is to understand that there are no perfect relationships. The first sign of a mature relationship is to understand that there are no perfect relationships, because there's no perfect partner. If there is a perfect partner, be sure he or she is not looking out for you. If they are a perfect partner, why are they looking out for you? Oh, yeah. They would have found someone else. Right. So, when there are no perfect individual, how can there be a perfect relationship? How can a perfect effect come from an imperfect cause? Life functions on cause and effect. How can a perfect effect come from an imperfect cause? That's why if you can understand that, a lot of relationship issues can be sorted out. Relationship by nature are imperfect. As long as you're in a growing, evolving, progressing relationship, you're better off. That's what I would say. The signs that a relationship is in turmoil, is in difficulty. The signs, when the initial signs you're able to deal with it, you're better off. In a relationship, when thoughts entertained and not communicated, emotions felt and not expressed, that's the first sign. Thoughts entertained and not communicated, emotions felt and not expressed is the initial stages of difficulties in relationship. You got to observe what creates those, what I call as relationship gaps. When there is a gap between what you feel and what you think. I repeat, when there's a gap between what you feel and what you think, there's a gap between what you say and what you do. When there's a gap between what you say and what you do, when there is a gap between what you did and said about what you did. I repeat, when there's a gap between what you did, actions you committed, and said as to what you have done. All these create mental gaps, misunderstandings. All these create mental gaps and misunderstandings. That's why I say, I repeat, when you create those gaps, mental gaps, I say, what you feel, the gap between what you feel and what you think, the gap between what you say and what you do, the gap between what you did and said as to what you did. All these creates mental gaps, misunderstandings. You think, if I start expressing everything, I will create hurt in a relationship. You think, if I start expressing everything, I create hurt in a relationship. It is you got to be cautious in that. It is friends, understand, your expression may create hurt in a relationship. But when you don't express, when you suppress your emotions and thoughts, you hurt the relationship itself. I hope you are with me. By expressing your thoughts and emotions, you may think that you may create a hurt in a relationship, By not expressing, by suppressing, you hurt the relationship itself. It is people have brought their relationship to such an extent. Their thought is saying anything will make no sense. So let me not say anything again. Let me be silent. I repeat, many of them have brought their relationship to such an extent. Saying anything doesn't, saying anything will not make any impact. So let me not say anything. Just keep quiet. So watch out, friends. Watch out. When enough investments goes into the building of a relationship, your expectations can be managed. You got to put in that. There should be investments in the relationship. Your expectations can be managed. The real problem in a relationship is growing expectation in a stagnant relationship. The real problem is growing expectations in a stagnant relationship. Make a note of it. Edge that to your soul. The real problem is growing expectations in a stagnant relationships. So some suggestions to improve your quality of relationships. Take time to listen, to understand. Be expressive. I've been big on this. Be expressive with your love, with your affection and kindness. Or thankfulness. Be expressive with your thankfulness, affection, kindness, love. It is you have to understand, two incomplete individuals come into a relationship to complete each other. But these days what happens, two incomplete individuals come into a relationship to finish off each other. That's a problem. Two incomplete individuals come to a relationship and finish off each other. Two incomplete individuals come into a relationship and complete themselves. They should complete that's why they hit their maximum potential. And the partner hits their the husband, the two incomplete individuals coming into a relationship not to complete each other but to complete themselves. You understand, you improve on yourself, she improves on herself, and then as a result the relationship improves. You come into a relationship, you expect the other person to improve themselves, or you expect the other person to help you improve yourself. The problem happens. That's why so when two individuals coming into a relationship, working on themselves, improving on themselves, that is how you're able to improve the quality. By doing it, there is confidence, there is trust, there is intimacy, and there is transparency. It is for all this you need time, you need effort, you need your energies intact. As you always say, that on which you invest time, effort, and energies progresses. That on which you deprive yourself of your time and effort eventually perishes. So watch out, friends. Watch out. I always suggest divorce is the last option after all possibilities are explored. The great Khalil Gibran made a fabulous statement about relationships, about marriage. He said, marriage is like a temple resting on two pillars. If the pillars come too close, the temple collapses. It's a phenomenal learning. One of the greatest thinkers I have come across, Khalil Gibran. And he says, he equates marriage to a temple. That is how sacred he has. That is the sanctity he associates with a relationship. Marriage is a temple. Temple resting on two pillars. If the pillars come too close, the temple collapses. The pillars are too far, temple collapses. The right distance. It's a temple resting on two pillars. That's why two imperfect individuals coming into a relationship to find perfection. they can find, provided they hit their big potential. The husband hits his potential, the wife hits her potential. As a result, they create children of infinite potential. Otherwise, they also bring in children who are very insecure, very agitated and frustrated. So watch out, friends. These are all great opportunities. I mean, the thing is, you can come out of a relationship, find another partner, but you're carrying the same mind into the next relationship. It will not work. It cannot work. I am not against all this, but it is. Your mind is the same. Your frustrations are the same. Your cravings are the same. Nothing about your mind has changed. How can the relationship improve? If the previous one worked for 5 years, this one will work for 2 years. The extent keeps diminishing and diminishing. There will be a stage we have nothing left. Nothing left. So watch out. These are all some aspects in life where you can hit your maximum potential. It looked so difficult, but now we worked on each other. It's a fabulous relationship. Fabulous relationship. And because there's no such thing as perfect relationship, because there's no perfect partner. How can a perfect effect come from an imperfect cause? You put in the right cause, you reap the right effect. You put in an imperfect cause, or you don't put in any cause, there's no effect. So watch out, friends. We're all great potential. We're all great potential. It's all up to us to raise ourselves. In the words of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Uddharet Atmanatmana. You got to raise yourself by yourself. You are the greatest friend and you are your worst enemy. You hit your maximum potential, you hit your infinite potential if you are a great friend to yourself. For that you need exposure. You need consistency, you need satsangs, you need all these put together. Not merely catering to your emotions and your body. Much more important is your intellect, is your thoughts, your clarity. Of what use it is, go on a meditation retreat and your mind is not tranquil and equanimous. You have not handled your desires well. So wherever you are, it's best suited for your evolution. Watch out, friends. We can live our life gloriously, and it's up to us. It's absolutely up to us to live our life to our full potential. No one else is responsible for us not living up to our potential. That's what I would like to say. So think about it.